pretty much everyone in my area has gotten a lot busier with work lately. And I'm really happy to see that. Should that make me feel better? Today we are PAing for my buddy Asa Martinez. Really great guy. And pretty much every time that I've shot for him, we have ended up outside. I think he draws the outdoors. We're working with Fallen Leaf Films today, which is a production company owned by Michael Spranger. Really cool guy. And we're doing a few outdoor interviews. This is the first setup, which I think looks really clean. And considering how bright it is outside, it's not overexposed. It just looks nice and clean, and you can see plenty of the background. So super happy with that. And then we flipped everything over into a different direction and filmed 3 interviews in that direction. 2 with people in the left corner of the screen and 2 with people in the right corner of the screen. And I'm just trying to make sure these things don't fly away. It was stinking hot, so it was really nice for us to be able to have some shade to be working in and keep the cameras cool and make sure there wasn't any lens flare or anything. Again, all of these looked super clean. Asa and Michael are just top notch at what they do, and they create these looks super fast and just great guys to work with. Love it. After that, Michael threw up a drone, got some footage, and Asa and I tore everything down. Smooth as butter. After that, Asa and I grabbed some food together, hanged out, just caught up and talked some life. And I really appreciate that. Asa's a good guy, and I appreciate being up to date in his life. Another late night tonight. I started when the sun was not out, and I'm ending while the sun is out. Or not out. After getting back from the shoot with Asa, I still had other work to do. I've got a shoot with Clint on Wednesday, and so he sent over a bunch of pre-production notes, and so I was going over those, and those were pretty detailed, so I wanted to take some time for those. And after that, been working on this Filmmakers meetup, which you probably saw go out a little while back. It just takes time to get all these things up and going, doing meetups and the YouTube channel and all those things. It's almost like stuff that I have to do outside of my normal work, so I end up getting a good amount of later nights because of that. Gear prepping for shoot tomorrow with my buddy Clint. And I know I'm going to be doing man on the street interviews, so I'm going to try using my shoulder pad a bit more. Since getting this FX9, I've gone without the shoulder pad and just used the built-in pad, which isn't the most comfortable, but it has made the rig nice and light, which I like. And this will add 2 pounds, but I think you'll give me a more stable shot during those man on the street interviews. So I figured today would be a good day to try that, because we're not going to be shooting too much B-roll on this camera. So let's see, do I get more stable footage using a more secure shoulder pad, plenty of cushion, or does it not really make a difference and I should just lose the weight? We arrived at our location at 6:15 a.m., loaded our gear into the lobby, and then we got our cars parked at local garages. You want to be extra safe when shooting in San Francisco. We grabbed a quick coffee together, then headed to location, got all set it up. Started off with this setup for this conference with one camera, the FX9, which is our tight shot in the corner here, and then FX30, our wide shot in the middle. Stuck with that for the first round of speeches, but the only issue is we couldn't get that tight. Like, it was a nice look, but we couldn't get that tight, and they weren't always looking our direction. So when we had the chance, we swapped and got both cameras in the middle, and that allowed us to get tighter on our subject on stage, and that was just perfect. In between events, we would pop the FX30 off, pop it on a gimbal, and Clint would grab B-roll while I would grab on the shoulder interviews, just like this one. Using our current shoulder setup, visually, I thought it looked great, and it really helped being able to just quickly set up interviews this fast. After that, Clint had a conference he had to set up for downstairs, so we had a conference downstairs and a conference upstairs, 4 cameras running at once, so he was manning the 2 down there while I was back upstairs. Little side note on the FX9, I'm absolutely loving the controls on the side. I can adjust for 4 channels of audio manually, and that's just so nice. There really wasn't any downtime. We would have a speech, and then we'd immediately grab B-roll and more man on the street interviews. It was just go, go, go. But I'm really happy with how the interviews looked and sounded. On button 3, I have the dual bass ISO for the FX9, which is 4,000, 800 and 4,000. And in this kind of environment, 4,000 is just perfect. Look at this interview, for example. That was shot at the 4,000 bass ISO, and it was just perfect. So very happy with that. We did a total of 8 on the street, man on the street interviews in between speeches, and dude, my back really hurt at the end of that. The lowest part of my spine just ached, and it took me a few days to recover from that. And so I'm curious, to the older DPs and cam ops out there who've done a lot of shoulder mounted shooting, how do you deal with that? Do you just like build up your strength for it? Or do you just keep your rig like as light as possible? I'm kind of curious. Very grateful for that shoot. And I feel like it went well, and the client got more than they were expecting. So that feels good. Thank you very much for hiring me, Clint. It really means a lot. All right, just grabbed coffee with Jezreel right here, and here's his Instagram. Real cool guy, freelance DP out here in the area, and he's working on a really cool film, a horror film that's in the works right now. So if you're in the Bay Area and you're interested in making a feature film, I think he'd be a good guy to talk to.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it.
Likewise.
Jezreel was awesome. Super talented guy with great vision. I enjoyed hanging out with him. I like his work, and I just like him as a person. So if you live near San Jose and you want to connect with other filmmakers, you should definitely reach out to him. We're not done grabbing coffee with people this week. Next up was Marcos Roca. He's a guy that I've seen his work for a while and really liked it. I followed him first a while back because I just found his work inspiring. Then he reached out recently to grab coffee, and we did, and I'm so glad we did. We shared a lot of stories with each other, and we're just transparent with each other, and it was really encouraging for me. So today we're filming for an organization that helps people with disabilities do cool things like sail a boat. Michael helped me land this gig today. Thank you, Michael. Starting off by getting some establishing shots. This is the zone that people will be coming out on these boats, and they're setting up like over there. So I kind of like this angle. This part isn't the prettiest, but it's kind of nice. Water's kind of flat today, so hopefully it'll pick up by the time the kids get here, because it's going to be hard to sail. No wind. Fingers crossed it picks up. But we should be able to ride in one of these boats. This one or this one. Set up a tripod or shoulder mount it. And get some cool shots from the water. Turns out we're going to have to lab up 2 people. I thought it was going to be 1. But the guy we thought were going to be speaking, he's going to speak a little bit, and then he's going to pass off to another guy who's going to speak quite a bit more. So we're going to mic them both up. And with the Sony UWPs, these come in handy. So awesome. So I'm configuring the audio right now. We're ahead of schedule. Lots of establishing shots. Things haven't really started yet. So now's a good time. And then we're gonna try and rig up a GoPro inside of a boat. So here we go, wish me luck. Once things started rolling, I had no time for anything. I tried to get a GoPro rigged in a boat, but we just did not have time. Things are moving too fast, and I'm the only one covering, so it all came down to me. Cool thing is, though, we had this sweet big boat to work with, and it had plenty of space for my tripod, which is really nice. But while the boat's moving, there's way too much rattling and I can't film. So we had to bring the boat to a stop to get any usable thing. So the captain would roll up to some people, cut the engine, drift, and we would get cool slow-mo shots of these boats going by. This was fun. Second crew rolled through. They're sailing right now. And we're gonna grab interviews. We've gotten 2 so far. I want to get like 3 or 4 more. Let's pause real quick to talk about the rig because I forgot to mention this, but you may notice the shoulder pad is gone. And with the shoulder pad being gone, it's 2 pounds lighter. More uncomfortable on my shoulder because I'm using the built-in rubber pad on the bottom of the FX9, but as long as it's not on my shoulder for too long, it seems bearable. And noticeably, I'm having a lot easier time getting low angles, getting hip angles, and my arms just don't fatigue as quickly. I got lots of shots from my shoulder, and I filmed a whole, I think it was about 10-minute interview from the shoulder as well, and that actually felt fine. So now I'm kind of torn because I used this exact rig about a week or 2 ago, and it like destroyed me, and this week, it seems to be a lot better. So I don't know. I keep going back and forth between whether I should have a shoulder pad on or I should have it off and things be a little bit lighter. There's like pros and cons to both. What do you think? What would you do? I've been doing interviews. I did one right there. I did 2 on the dock over there. And I have 2 more, maybe 3, hopefully 3 to do. This is kind of the framing we're thinking. We've got a square crop in mind, but just to show you kind of what the background's looking like. But yeah, we're gonna have a person stand here and be facing this way. They should be in the shade. Yeah, they're shaded enough standing right here. And then I'll just stand right next to them and then have them look at me. So that way they don't have to look down the barrel of that thing. Cause I know that's just intimidating. So I like this line a lot. Gonna try that. And then I may adjust it a little bit and then move a little bit for each interview. Maybe another one here. I like this portable boat. Maybe with like that background behind. We'll see. But I like interviews like this. We're pretty much done. We've gotten all the B-roll we need, but now we got to get some key interviews. But all my interview people are out on the water, so gotta wait for them to come back. Also, this feels just kind of sketch, just having my camera there. I know it's stable, but I mean, doesn't that feel a little weird? Ended up flipping the framing of this one because I felt like he contrasted the water more nicely. And I liked seeing more of the action, although the lines are different. Like, you know, he's facing that way, but the line's that way. But anyways, overexposed it a little bit because it's easier to bring the highlights down in this camera than the shadows up. And then we just shot this interview here, which was right here.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And had a hidden mic on him. Sounded real good.
He was able to handle the boat, and you saw a smile on his face when he came in. That's always the part that's gratifying.
Yeah, happy with that. A lot of activity behind him too. Pretty much wrapped at this point. The sun is nice and low. Looks really nice out. Might do one more interview, or we might just leave. I'm gonna ask our on-site contact if they want one more interview. We would need like one of the participants to have stayed longer, but they kind of book it out of here quick, so it's tough to get interviews of them. Oh, actually, never mind. There's a few over there. Let me see if we can get another one. Just did one final interview here. Really happy how this one looked. I tried not to make the background too blurry so you can see what's behind it, because there's interesting things going on back there. But I'm really happy with it. We've got a hidden mic on her right around there. And the scenery was right here. And I just sat right there. She sat there so she could look at me. And I'm very happy with how it turned out.
But I am willing to say, hey, I'm ready to join a club and take some classes and really learn how to sail and make it a part of my life because I love it.
Well, friends, that's the end of my week. My name's Tommy, and I'm a freelance DP based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And if you live somewhat nearby me and you're in the film industry, I'd love to connect with you. Send me a message on Instagram, and we should grab coffee. It'd be cool. That's honestly like my favorite part about this channel is all the people that I've been able to grab coffee with. It's grown my love for the industry and my love for other people in it, seeing how much they care about what they do for a living. It's just great. Anyways, yeah, thanks for chilling with me this week. And if you want to work with me, here's my website. Hit me up through there if you want to work on something together. Appreciate you watching and hanging out, and I hope you have a great day. God bless you. Bye.
But the Persians tended to be archers, tended to be light horsemen, tended to be light infantry, whereas the Greeks specialized in what are called hoplites, which is a kind of infantrymen with very heavy body armor, a helmet, a spear, and a really big heavy shield.